I'm going to be repairing this great big Briggs and Stratton lawnmower, and it's, by that I don't mean a Briggs and Stratton engine, it's actually a Briggs and Stratton lawnmower. These things were made, I don't know, probably 20 years ago. Big, powerful, six and a half horsepower, I think, is what it is. Look at the vanity cover. No, 6.75. And I got this thing at a mobile home out in the country. This lady had 2 mowers for sale. One was a little hyper tough, and then there was this one. And it belonged to her father, who got old and became a hoarder. And there were just enormous trash piles out there. And so not only did I get this brute 22-inch cut self-propelled, but I got another one that looks just like it. It's like a matching mower, except it was really torn up, missing the carburetor, missing the dipstick, missing the rewinder, and it was sitting on top of a trash pile, upside down, with a broken handle. And I'm going to try to save this one and the other one that was in really bad shape, because strangely enough, the other one, the front wheel drive actually turns. This one, on this mower you're looking at in this video, I had to turn into a push mower because it was so rusted and frozen. The only thing I could do was take the gears off, and you can do that by removing the little C-clip that holds the metal gear on. Pop that off, and then with some tapping and a little JB blaster and rocking back and forth, they'll finally break free most of the time. And I got both of these off, so this mower, if you push it now, it's a push mower. Before, I couldn't even hardly get it up on the table because these wheels were frozen, because the gears were frozen. So now this is a great big old push mower. It's a self-priming mower, which means this arm, when it gets warm, will swing out of the way and open up the throttle. It basically removes the choke and then just works off the throttle plate. But right now, as so often happens with these, this is frozen in place, probably because the carburetor's dirty. But it could be this other end over here, maybe hung up in a mouse nest, or, who knows, somebody may have connected it wrong. But it's got a pretty good blade on it, and the blade is not bent. Moved it around to check for compression. It has excellent compression, and the crankshaft isn't bent. That's a lot of the mowers I work on, they've been damaged and the crankshafts are bent, but this one seems to be okay. The other thing I like about this mower is the adjustment here to make it for a short down here, medium, or tall person. And I'll probably move it up to there because I'm right around 6 feet, and I like it to be sort of high. So let's go to work on this mower and see if we can save it. I paid, I guess, about $25 for this mower, something like that. And I try to bring these things back to life so they aren't just thrown away and discarded, and somebody can use them. So I'm hoping you can sort of see what I'm trying to do here. So what I'm going to do is take off the blower housing and look under there and see if maybe there's something here that's causing the self-priming mechanism not to work. Right now, I've lost my gloves. There they are. So let's do that. I'm also going to look underneath this cover and see what kind of shape the air filter's in. We've got a 5/16 socket on here, which is what holds this screw in. That's also what holds the 3 screws at the top that holds the fuel tank on. So I'll be able to do a couple of things with this. So let's take a look at the air filter, see what's under there. That's pretty bad. There's some kind of bug living right there. So yeah, that's just eaten through. I don't know if you can see that, but the bugs have eaten that through. So I'm just gonna throw this away after I stomp on that bug right there, whatever the heck that is. All right, so let me get the this cover plate off, set that aside, and so now I got to take at least loosen the fuel tank so I can swing it back. Get that one at least started. Get that one started. Get this one started. So 1, 2, 3, and I did check the oil on this mower, and it's really pretty clean looking. There's a little bit too much of it, but at least it's got some, and at least it's pretty clean. So that gets rid of those 3. Now this tank may swing back now, or I may have to loosen that screw at the bottom. I think I'm going to go ahead and loosen it. And that takes a 3/8 socket. And that's underneath here in the back corner. That'll help this swing back a lot better. I don't see anything creepy yet. One big old spider web. I'm going to go ahead and I've got to move the other side to loosen this dipstick and swing it away. But first I need to loosen a little screw that holds that in there. And it's the same type screw that holds the tank on, exactly the same. It's a tiny little shoulder screw, 5/16. I'm going to get a toothbrush, an old toothbrush, and brush around the base of that dipstick so I don't kick a bunch of dirt in the crankcase. It's relatively clean compared to most of them. So let's see if I can get it up and swing it around. Yeah, that worked good. Sometimes those things are really hard to get out. All right, so now 1, 2, 3, 4 of these 3/8 screws. I need an extension to get down in the back. And let me get these loose here. That one's pretty loose. Get that one loose, and now there's 2 in the back. That's the top one. There we go. And now this one. Got the 4 3/8 screws out of there. So now this will lift up, but first I've got to get the pull cord down and through this, otherwise that tank's not going to move around very well. So let's see if I can get this off easily or not. Okay, that didn't slide out well, so I'm just going to take the whole assembly off. And that means the little eye hook that the Ford fits through is going to come off. Loose. Now, bring the whole thing through the vanity cover, and then down through the circular part of the tank. But first, I don't want to lose this screw, so I'm going to put it back on here with a few turns. So now that's out of the way. So now I can swing this tank around if I need to. So first I want to go ahead and take this blower housing rewinder off. Yep, that's all done. So now, yeah, I can just lift this off now, I think. Yep. Okay. So let's see what's living under here. These things I always want to grab right there. No, that's not too bad. Not too many things living under there. See if I can just get it all the way off. There we go. All right. Any wasp nests or black widows? Nope. So that's looking pretty good. Now I did remove the spring that keeps the engine brake on the flywheel, so it's off now. The gap on the ignition coil, I guess, is okay because the wheel's turning pretty easily. Anyway, I don't see anything that's keeping this arm from swinging like it should. So it's probably just a dirty carburetor. So let's go in and check that. I don't like to let my videos run too long because I know you tend to stop watching them. So I think it's probably been about 15 minutes. When you come back, we're going to work on this carburetor.